what your gut feeling is on pornography. Is that my 1 second?
I think that's my reaction. I like that word.
So talking to you about pornography is honestly a little bit scary because so many people have such strong feelings about pornography. It is a huge part of our society. I talk to so many women who feel incredible sadness, suffering, pain over their partner's relationship to pornography or even addiction to it. I know men and women who watch pornography who feel unnecessary shame and guilt over the fact that they watch it. And I know a whole bunch of people who have a really healthy, appreciative relationship to porn. So I'm going to be talking to you today in the most vulnerable and honest way possible so we can really have this discussion about my perspective on the good, the bad, and the ugly in our relationship to pornography. I'm Layla Martin. This is the place to be if you want to experience epic sex, legendary love, and a conversation about porn. So what is the good about pornography? I'm gonna be totally honest with you. When I was sitting around with my writing team, we had a hard time coming up with the good. We were like, you can watch pornography and have fun with it, and there might not be anything wrong with it, but what's really good about it? Because, and I'm gonna be so honest with you here, pornography, in my opinion, is a result of a sexually repressed society. So all evidence points to the fact that as human beings, we were evolved to live in a much more sexually free society. Now that didn't mean promiscuity with strangers. It meant that maybe we had several different lovers, but we knew them so deeply. We had maybe grown up with them, or we had spent years and years in intimacy with them. And those days are gone. And I can't tell you an easy answer about it because I choose monogamy. I'm in a monogamous relationship, but there are an awful lot of people, myself included, who were evolved for variety, for experimentation, for sexual freedom. And yet our society has come to a point where for most people, the option of relationship they want to be in is devotion to one person. But this creates a tension inside. It creates, on one hand, people who want to be devoted to their partner in long-term relationships with one person, but biologically, they're hungry. They want variety. They want different things. They want excitement. And pornography is the outlet for that for most people. So in some ways, you could say the good of pornography is that it gives people an outlet for their sexual hunger and their sexual drive that still fits into the relationship boundaries that they choose. We could also say that people's desire, the thing that's fueling their hunger to watch pornography, is a totally beautiful thing. That wanting to feel that little extra spice, wanting to watch someone have sex, wanting to add something to the way that you masturbate is absolutely a beautiful thing and nothing to be ashamed of. But that brings us to the bad, which is that pornography is terribly unrealistic. We all know this, but going beyond that, every single time someone watches pornography, it's actually changing what your brain finds sexy, how you get off, how you want to have sex, and even what you desire. So if you can think of men in ancient societies, the only sex they ever knew was live sex with a real human being. And so when they spend their adolescence actually wiring their brain to get turned on by a two-dimensional screen, they're lacking that human touch, the connection, the emotion. And now so many teenage girls are going through this exact same process as well. What it does is it creates a disconnection from the humanity of our sexuality. And because of that, a lot of people feel that they're suffering in their relationships because a partner who watches a lot of pornography, you can feel it. It's like they're disconnected. They're acting out a scene in their head. There's something robotic about it. And it's actually disgusting to feel like your body is being used and your partner's not there. They're off somewhere where they got programmed by pornography, something they saw on the internet. It creates holes and sadness within relationships. I also personally, as someone who talks to people about their sex lives day in and day out, there are so many women, and I haven't come across a man yet, but I know that there are men out there who go through this, but there are so many women who carry shame that their partner watches pornography. They are sad inside. They feel if you're getting off on a perfectly shaved 18-year-old who's been cosmetically enhanced and gone through God knows what else, who's totally faking it and paid to be there, how could you ever find me attractive? It feels like a betrayal deep down inside. And beyond that, they actually feel shame, like they're not good enough. They never could be good enough. And that their partner's out there doing something that feels, honestly, it breaks their heart. So it creates misunderstandings, it creates tension, and it creates separation in relationships. I've also heard from a lot of men that they feel shamed, they feel guilted, they feel like they're judged, that pornography is just something that they want to watch. What's the big deal? And they feel like their partner is super hard on them and that they then can't talk about it in an open and honest way. So the bad of pornography is that it's setting us up for unrealistic sexual expectations that then creates unhealthy sexual dynamics, and on top of that creates a lot of tension and even fights in relationships. The ugly of pornography is everything you can find in the dark corners of the internet, things that are sadly becoming more and more mainstream. Because pornography is based on getting a hit of pleasure in your brain, people who watch pornography over and over again get desensitized to any kind of sex act that they might actually want to participate in real life, and they get addicted to stuff that becomes more and more intense. So there is a dehumanization of women, there's horrible violence that gets created, and there's a whole industry. Some people who are very, very empowered and love what they're doing, but there's a very, very dark side of that industry as well. Now, we can't blame pornography. When I was talking about this with my friends, one thing that became very clear is that the dark rabbit hole of pornography is equivalent to the dark rabbit hole of sex in our society. We only have this hardcore industry that does horrible things to women, that expresses our deepest, darkest, shadowy elements of sexuality in horrific ways, because we ourselves as a society are deeply repressed. We're not able to have a super healthy conversation about sexuality. So many people are trying to get things from pornography off in the internet by themselves, when what they really hunger deep down inside is the end of loneliness and a profound intimacy, a sharing with their partner. But because of this loss of sense of humanity, they feel lost and abandoned, and then drop down into this space that is scary. It's scary to me, it's scary to so many people. So the answer isn't necessarily taking away porn or ending the porn industry. The answer, in my opinion, is to evolve sexually, to become more conscious in our sexuality. I have never seen a man or a woman choose to change their pornography habit just in isolation. What I've seen is people paying more and more attention to their sexuality, just like they pay attention to their diet. And the cleaner their relationship to their sexuality, the more that they actually start cultivating a sexuality where they feel proud, happy, good inside, where when they're masturbating, they're actually experiencing the emotions that they would want to feel in the night of their life with someone that they were madly in love with. Their taste for pornography then begins to shift as well. And that's where you see men taking 30-day porn detoxes, getting incredible results, or you even see people getting drawn more to the conscious porn industry, where they're watching things that are more like real life and where there's humanity, the people engaging in the pornography. So the biggest thing I can leave you with about pornography is to have an open-ended conversation. What I see is that people have such strong personalized experiences, and too many people carry fear, shame, guilt, jealousy, sense of betrayal around pornography, that until we start having a really open conversation, the same conversation that we need to have about sex, we're not going to be able to really look conscientiously at our relationship to porn. It exists, it's not going away, so we might as well choose to relate to it in the healthiest way possible, that not only gives us that extra little thrill, but gives us what we want in our sexual relationships with the people we love as well. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me. I would love to hear from you now in the comments section below. Let me know, what's your opinion of pornography? Does it have a place in our society, and what is that place? I would love for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I make a new video every Wednesday on sexuality, tantra, relationships, and love. And if you want, you can check out this video next. Or you might want to watch this one.